Hello YouTube, this is a video about reviewing the Polyblend Sanded Grout that I bought for this bathroom, and I was totally disappointed. I just want to make this quick video and help out whoever is hitting the similar situation. So, long story short, I'm remodeling this bathroom, and it turned out pretty good. I've used both sanded grout and uh, unsanded grout for the shower over there. If you don't know what the difference between them, sanded grout has some little sand granules in it, so it's good for grout lines that are thicker than 1/8 of an inch, and non-sanded grout are good for stuff like that. You know, the smaller tiles with the grout lines that are less than 1/8 of an inch. There's also a third kind called the epoxy grout, which it's really hard to deal with, but once you put it on, it's like super solid and no more maintenance. But we're not dealing with that here. Anyway, getting back to Polyblend Sanded Grout. This is the stuff they sell in Home Depot, and this is the only stuff they sell in Home Depot. They also make like a pre-made, pre-mixed stuff as well, but this is the review for the big bag, 25-pound bag from Custom. So Custom Products basically rules this entire market, making anything from thin set to um, grout, sealer, cleaners, all sorts of stuff related to tiles. So they also claim that they're America's #1 grout. So totally disagree with that due to how horrible the results came out. So I used this particular color, DeLorean gray, which is color 165, a nice dark gray which matches with the grays in the tile, as you can see. So that's what I wanted, but this is what I got. As you can see, it's totally white, and I did everything right. You know, I followed the directions. I made sure everyone who worked on this did the exact same thing. Waited for 5 minutes, staring, 10 minutes of waiting, and then 20 minutes later, after you grout it, wipe it off with the sponge, and 2 hours later, use the cloth to wipe it out. But this is the result I get every single time. So I got pretty pissed off. It's not just this. I did a different color on the flooring, nearly 600 square feet, and they all came. That's a dark brown. They all came out like this. So um, it was pretty disappointing. So I called Custom and talked to their customer service rep, and he kept mentioning efflorescence, which is a phenomenon where these little water bubbles come on the surface and stain the whole grout. And his suggestion is that I shouldn't be using hard water. I should be following all this stuff, and if nothing works, use an acid cleaner. So I was convinced that my water is hard, so I went. At that point, I just did a very little section, and it was horrible, so I stopped. So I went and got gallons and gallons of distilled water and did the entire grouting with distilled water, wiping, mixing, everything. And still, this is what we got, even with using different bottled water, distilled water, all sorts of stuff. It's the same result, followed everything like this. So completely disappointed with the way it turned out. So what else can I do with that? I tried sealer on top of it. That doesn't work either. So the recommendation there by the custom rep is to use something called sulfamic acid cleaner. So this is the product, again, made by Custom. So you basically mix half of this with a gallon of water, and then go at it, brush it, brush it, brush it, and what you see is the end result. So this is the part I didn't do, just to show um, how it originally comes out. And then once you keep doing it, you get somewhat of a deeper color uh, with this acid on it. But here's the problem though, it's not an even deep color. If you go closer, you'll see it's like patches. It's like patches after patches of, there'll be light, dark, light, dark, light, dark. And it all depends on how well it reacts with it and how much pressure and concentration you put on each area. So it's really hard to control this, in spite of me going at it with the vinyl brush like they recommend, and did the whole thing, but just not happy about it. So called them again, and their suggestion is, oh, you can't do anything about it, you got to use a dye sealer. So here you go, Polyblend Grout Renew by Custom Building Products. One more expense. So this is expensive, like $12-15 or something like that. So I got a little darker color because I didn't believe that it's going to come out the same color as they say. So I got one step more darker gray. So that's natural gray instead of the DeLorean gray. And let me show you the other bathroom, which is where I used this. So I use that product in here. As you can see, that is the natural gray. Completely, this whole area was redone with this. I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out. It did give an even look, but at the same time, look at that color versus that. Good thing I went one shade darker. It kind of got the gray I wanted it to be, but at the same time, it's not what they say it's going to be. It probably would take 3 coats on top of this to get to the gray like this. It's just one coat, but it looks much more even and much more nicer on this bathroom rather than that. So long story short, in order to get the color that they have on the package right here, you need to go from this to this to this. And for a small bathroom, the stuff is okay. It's like one bottle covers a couple of bathrooms of 2 coats. But my entire basement is tiled with 600 square feet. It probably would take 10 of this to do that. That's like another $150 expense, and that is another, let's say, $50 expense, and the labor not to mention. So it's just ridiculous that a grout, if they put a color on top of it like this, you expect that when you grout it, it should stay in that color. And once again, custom products, if you have any answer for this, please let us know. If not, stop making this crappy product and go back to how you used to make this, which is 3-4 years back. The bag said gray, it will turn out gray. I don't know what you did in between, but it's not working. And if you wonder if I'm the only one complaining here, clearly not. If you just type custom grout product or polyblend, things turning light or white, there is hundreds of posts about this problem, and everyone just makes up excuses saying, oh, it's this water or something else. But I've tried everything, still doesn't. All I got is I just lost money, time, and labor because of using this product. Next time I'll go to Lowe's. All right, so that's the review for Polyblend custom brand, America's #1 grout. Thanks a lot, guys.